Right, Cox a minute and fifth.
Straight, you know that last Cox, I couldn't hear it very well.
In your ears, Bill.
Billy was a minute and a fifth.
By the time they had dumped it, it was too late. It was too late. That's how we had all that last year.
He's doing well so far. I mean, he's shipped in well, and he's got over the track good, galloping as far as very happy and moving well.
Work?
He's going to work on Sunday.
On Sunday?
Sunday, yeah.
What are you kind of looking at the Florida Derby, and obviously Fierceness was a pretty amazing, kind of from your standpoint, with your horse kind of coming into this race?
Yeah, I mean, our horse is lightly raced. It was only his third start. Fierceness is in a different league when he shows up to most horses, if not all. And we obviously ran second. We got points to come to the Derby, and he's done well since then, so we give it a shot. We don't know how much he's going to improve. He's supposed to improve. It's only his third start of his career. His first start going 2 turns, and the Derby is showing like, hey, you got some crazy results sometimes. The main thing is to get here, and once the horse is doing well, give it a chance.
Do you feel like you could be the Mage of 2024?
Well, Mage was coming in with a better resume. Maybe we have to be like the Mind That Bird or the Rick Strike. You know what I mean? Mage he was pretty close to Forte, and we were 13 lengths behind Furnace. That's a lot of lengths to make up.
What would be kind of the perfect storm for something like a Mind That Bird or a Mage to happen?
I mean, you need pace in there. You need to get the right trip. As I said, the Derby is the best horses don't always win. It's one of those races where you kind of just hope to get there, and then you hope for the best. And if it's meant to be, it's meant to be, and that's all you can ask for. Basically, your horse runs and comes back safe and sound.
What is your take on Fierceness? Is it if he runs his race, they're all running for second, but he doesn't have to run his race?
Yeah. I mean, that's the big thing. If he did it once, twice he hasn't shown up. You know what I mean? And then when he's shown up the other 3 times, nothing's come close to him. So it's going to be a much different tempo race. The break's going to be important for him. Those are things that we don't really study because he's not our horse. But realistically, as a fan and a spectator looking at him, he's definitely the deserving favorite, and he's a league of his own. I mean, then you got Sierra Leone, who has a total opposite style and super classy horse also. So those are the 2 standouts in the Derby, no doubt about it.
Where would if you could draw up the perfect race, what would it be for you?
I mean, ideally, you like to hopefully they have some horses getting pressure up front, and we could be sitting 4th, 5th, or only our 6th. I mean, just in a good rhythm and not taking too much dirt. But that's the perfect storm, and most of the time you don't get that. So I just learned to you move with the flow, and what's to be will be. I mean, we hope our horse continues to do as well. He has to breeze on Sunday, and then we have a good week leading into it. Once we do that, that's all we could ask for.
Lightly raced. Were you high on him though?
Yeah, I mean, he won his debut very nicely, and then we had a setback. He got sick and he missed some time, and we were kind of behind the clock. So we were trying to get an allowance race at Gulfstream to go. It didn't go for a couple of weeks, and that's how we ended up at Tampa. It was like either run him then or keep waiting, and we ran him 6 furlongs, which was too short. He was restless in the paddock, restless in the gate, missed the break, which he broke really good first time out, and then at the top of the stretch it looked like he was going to run a distant 4th, and he flew home and just got beat. Never going to win, but just got beat, and it was a very eye-catching race, and that gave us confidence to give a chance in the Derby prep. We didn't know if we were going to go to the Wood or the Florida Derby, but the owner said, hey, you know what, it's back in 3 weeks, but let's just stay home, and it was the right decision because he picked up the points we wanted.
About as happy a second as you've had?
Yeah, very, 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 very. That's what I'm saying. You don't have to win all the time. You always want to win, correct, but you have to be realistic. So it was a great second. At the top of the stretch, it looked like second was gonna happen, but then you didn't know if he was gonna weaken his first time going 2 turns, and I thought he stayed on graciously in his own right. I mean, kind of in a separate race.
After what happened last year, to be back in this position, does it feel weird to come back? And how long did it take you to get past all that?
I mean, I don't think you ever get past it mentally, like what you have to go through, and it knocks you down. And it's something that you carry the rest of your life on your shoulder, as far as how low you felt and how it was portrayed to be. So it's amazing how God works in mysterious ways, and here we are back with a horse again right after. You can't even make it up. In March, he hadn't even run again, so you're thinking you don't have any Derby horse, and here we are with another Derby horse again. So you're just thankful to be back, going where we are and continue on strong. And as I said, I learn a lot of life about just in general, like how your character's tested, and your faith gets stronger. And for me, I wouldn't wish it on anybody, but I wouldn't change it. Like, I think it's a chapter in my life that it taught me a lot, and my faith got stronger than ever.
What got you through it? I mean, just work, or I mean, faith, you said? Or
God. There's no two ways about it. If you don't believe, believe. And that's my faith became stronger than ever. The testimony I went through, and that's the only thing that gets you through that. When you're at the rock bottom like that, there's nothing else that gets you through. I mean, you got your family that support you in that kind of way, but God is what gets you through those moments, and that's all I can tell you. Like, if you don't believe, believe.
It seemed like the process to get reinstated relatively quickly. Can you walk us through that process?
I mean, not relatively quickly for me. It was a long 2 months. I mean, and it shouldn't have taken that long, actually, because the results and stuff were back. But hey, it is what it is. We don't want to look here and blame and go forward and point excuses. It's done. It's gone. It's something that, as I said, I learned a lot in general how things were handled, and in the end, it proved that we handle things the correct way, and that's all you can do. I mean, you could look here and blame and point fingers and make excuses for people and all that, but that's not going to get you anywhere in life. That just creates stories, and we let our success continue on and do the talking.
Do you look back and see if maybe you or anybody really could have done something different in that moment leading up to it, or do you just kind of move forward?
No, I mean, it was proven on our side that we couldn't have done anything different. We did everything that we could, and everything was done right. Now, why did it happen? I mean, in time we'll tell, and we don't know. We didn't have answers. They didn't have answers. I mean, one of the horses showed a trace of rat poison in it. They said it wasn't a level that could have caused it, but who knows? Why was it there anyway? So there's so many questions, as I said, unknown things that we will never. Maybe we will get answers eventually down the line somewhere. Maybe things will come out that we will find out. But as of right now, we're not going to just make hypothetical questions. You know, I mean, that's something that happened, and we can't. We don't have a concrete answer.
But watching your former horse win the Met Mile had to be tough, and watching him win the Breeders' Cup Classic had to be, I would think, tough.
No, I think that was just, what's the correct word? It's just like transferring on to like how it was. I was misrepresented, to put it that way. You know what I mean? So I don't. It's like you have a kid and he's your son, and he goes on, and let's say he's with a. Or you get divorced and he's with his stepdad, and you see him successful with his stepdad. Are you gonna resent that? No. I mean, at the end of the day, we couldn't run in the Met Mile because all this was going on, and Naira was giving us problems also. So they had to make a transition to run the horse in New York. He ran third in the Met Mile, and then he wanted to win the Whitney and the Breeders' Cup Classic. So the owners are very supportive of me. I have a lot of horses for them, and like would I have liked to be doing that? Correct, 100%. I mean, we won the Florida Derby with the horse, but reality of it is, it was in the right scenario for the horse to not be penalized. And the Met Mile was his main target all that time. We actually scratched him out of New York to bring him to run at Churchill in the Churchill Downs race, 7/8, to then go to the Met Mile. So we couldn't mess up the horse's career because I was going through an issue.
You said last year you felt like a scapegoat. Do you still feel that way?
I mean, it spoke for itself. I mean, last year is gone. I guess there's two ways in life. You can sit down and make it excuses and blame and look for sympathy. At the end of the day, that's not going to get you anything. I mean, last year spoke for itself, how everything was handled. I thought we did everything that in the right way, and we're thankful to be back. We're not going to look to blame people and say, hey, all these kind of excuses. And it doesn't in life. You gotta go forward and and not make excuses. I mean, excuses are what stop you from succeeding, and we're not going to make excuses to look to blame people and go. We move forward. I mean, we've moved forward and we've continued on, and thankfully we have a lot of owners supporting us, a lot of great horses, and a great team, and we're blessed to be in a position we're in.
Make the case for your horse winning the Derby.
Make the case. You dream. That's it. That's what it is. I mean, you can't really make a case if you look at the numbers on the form. I mean, you have to live on dreams and hope. And he is unexposed, and unexposed horses can improve quite a bit. So that would be the case you have to make, that he's unexposed, only 3 starts. He is on the improve from a numbers perspective, and how much improvement that's going to come, that's an unknown question. Hopefully a lot.
When there's still a lot left to maybe know about a horse like that, is there something that you've maybe seen glimpses of that's like, all right, if this kind of comes together here this week, this could be something?
Yeah, I mean, how he's trained so far. I mean, he's not a horse that really jumps into the bridle and his gallops, and I don't know if it's what it is, but he's been moving beautiful over the track. He's been galloping as good as he's ever galloped in his life. So yeah, you see those kind of things, and then it makes you dream. But then you kind of get back to perspective and realistic, because you say if you expect too much, this game, it kind of has a way to disappoint you. So you kind of try to control your emotions and your expectations. That's at least what works for me. Like, I don't stop dreaming, I don't stop hoping, but I kind of control my expectations.